How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I think what we're going to be doing is go ahead and cutting down some of the trees that I want to cut down. They don't have to be big; they could be actually quite small, but nonetheless, we want to start cleaning up the property a little bit. And some of these trees might be big, so we're going to cut those into like 12-foot lengths and then stack them up here by the house. Now, we're not going to split them down in the firewood just yet. There's a chance that in a few months we're going to buy a sawmill, and if that's the case, I'm basically putting some lumber aside to be able to play with that. However, if the wood is on the ground, it leaves it open for decay, actually rapid decay, as the bugs and critters will get into it in a heartbeat. So I think that we're going to, right here, put a couple of those logs sideways that we basically sacrifice to the wildlife, and then stack the tree. We'll stack the logs this way, one here, one there, and then we'll stack all the logs on top of it. I don't know how many we'll get, but if I could get 5 or 6 or 7 over here, that would be nice. Let me take you to the east edge of my property, looking south, and I have a project in mind for the future. Just want to cue you guys in before we get started on this video. All right, so my property extends south to just past that tree up there in the center of the road. The property lines are kind of skewed when it comes to where the fence is, but my fence is on my property, and there's probably a good 10-15 feet on the other side of that fence on the neighbor's side. That's also my property, but there's no reason for me to push for that. I still own it, and the only reason I would bring it up is if they wanted to build something close to the fence line. Otherwise, we want to do some cleaning up. Now, along this edge, you can see there's some evergreens starting to grow right on the fence. I think we want to cut those down and clean the fence line up. But what I'd like to do is clean my side of the fence, a path for the tractor to make it all the way down, and not one that makes me want to weave back and forth. So you can see those 3 trees. It looks like 2 from your perspective. I'll walk down here. Actually, it looks like 4 trees. We would just get rid of that, dig down the dirt a little bit, and kind of form myself a little tractor road, maybe an ATV road. It could also be a road that I choose to hike in the future. Just give you a little quick span of this side of my property. You can see the house over there. The house is about a football field away, end zone to end zone, 300 feet. And I'd like to clean this fence line up. Trees have fallen on the fence in a few different places, and so I was thinking about restretching the chicken wire and getting the fence back to par, like here. The chicken wire, some tree fell on it. In fact, that tree that fell on this, you witnessed in a previous video us pulling a portion of that right on out of here. But we could get the fence back up. And there's a couple more places down there, this waterway. This fence is all twisted up as well. I'd like to get it fixed. These posts reset in the ground. And yeah, anyways. And then clean up on the right side of the fence here, all the way up to the other fence up there. And we'll make the right-hand turn. Anyways, I'd like to do that around the whole property, but initially we'll clean this up. There's going to be a handful of trees, as you can see. You know, a good dozen trees that we'll cut down. I also don't want the trees so close to the power lines. I would feel bad if these trees fell and ruined those power lines. So by cutting them back 10 feet, might just make the limbs that might hit it too small to actually take it down. So that's the goal. That's going to be one of the plans here. And yeah, check this out. There's a lot of water that flows through my property right here. A lot. The most portion of it comes from my neighbor's property. I mean, this thing could be kind of full. Comes over the road and goes down here. Not only that, but there's another, how do you pronounce that? A tributary right around here that also cuts through my property into this water line here. The dip in my driveway comes out onto this road, follows the road, and then goes out that way. And I'll show you that here. You can kind of already see it. I'd like to eventually do something with this lowland area. Maybe make a pond, a bigger pond than I already have. I don't know. It's a possibility. Just south of us here, my neighbor that's up there, they have a 2.5 acre pond. In order to not kill their pond, I would maybe build this up in increments. And then that way I could utilize a big body of water. But that body of water would be limited by how low this drive is right here. This is an easement, and I can't do anything that will mess with it. Unless, of course, I pay to put a bridge in or fill the dirt in, which I'm not willing to do. But if my pond came up to, let's say, that down tree right there, or maybe by that first bend behind that tree, I'd have a pretty substantial pond myself. And we'd have a shallow side over here and a deep side over there. So that is something to consider. Anyways, I just wanted to throw some of those projects out your way. If that's something you'd like to see, like I keep asking, go ahead and put a comment down below and let me know. Maybe you already have some insight on building ponds like that. What are some of the issues I'm going to be facing? I'd really like to have a pond that sustains life. Sustains life. That way I could get into some aquaculture. At a minimum, even if I don't do the big pond down there, I could still maybe dam up the water that comes out of this and somehow pump it over to my pond behind the house during the rains. A nice amount of water will come through here as well. But anyways, enough of the talk. We're gonna install some hooks on the bucket. We're gonna take the chainsaw out, and we're gonna use a chain on these new hooks to pick up the logs and bring them where I just described. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's cue the music, and we'll see you on the end.